Alrighty. All right, had a good rehearsal there. All right, so I did this morning. I wasn't loud enough, so I'm talking louder now. I've turned up the volume. I had to make some typographical errors, so I had to correct them. But we're going to go through this. I came up with this concept of the temple process for business on the Jason Cisneros Chairman Project, soon to be called Built to Exit podcast. And I was reviewing um, the his growth course for like the third time, and he said on the first module, you got to die to yourself. All the things you thought you knew about business, you got to flush it because that's what got you to where you are now. And so I went and pulled out uh, the temple and started referencing that when he's on the growth course, and realized that much of the growth course really follows this. And I talked to Apostle Michael Petro, and he said that the temple process is a basic training flow. Okay, so it works with anything. So I'm like, that's awesome. So we're going to talk about the layout of the temple and we'll get the outer court first, and that's going to be the altar of sacrifice and the brazen laver. And I got here the quote, in quotations, you have to die to yourself, kill everything you thought you knew about business because that's what got you where you are now. And we're going to show that, right? So this is the altar of sacrifice. You got to, this is where, when it comes to personal finance, this is where you got to put the budget together, figure out what you got coming in, what's going out with your debt and your expenses. One really nifty way to track that is just keep track of what you're spending. Don't adjust how you spend things because you're keeping track of just what you naturally would do, what you're getting gas, what you're buying groceries, if you're going out to eat, paying your rent, your mortgage, whatever it is, write it down. And then at the end of the month, then you review it. And that makes it easier to, you can look at it and go, okay, I really didn't need to spend that money. It helps you prioritize. You get to see it yourself. You'll correct the mistakes you see in yourself way faster than anybody telling you. So that's a good way to do it. Okay. I like QuickBooks. Um, I started using QuickBooks. I went all in. I connected it to all my accounts. I was doing a debt roll up, and at the same time, I was saving money, and I could see my debt going down and my accounts going up, and that excited me. I'd look at my QuickBooks like 4 times a day, watching them numbers, man. Like it was unlocking a secret to me. But it's being accountable. Now you got to watch out for this. All right, this is your urges and your emotions and you know your your subconscious thoughts, your impulses. That's what that is, right? Here we are on the road to financial stability. A Disney vacation. It's a 3-day weekend. Let's go, right? And this can be, this will hold you back. It'll slow you down. You got to be disciplined. All right. Brazen labor. This is accountability. You can try to do it yourself. This is the priest does the sacrifices. He's the butcher. He takes off all his bloody clothes. He washes himself up. You can see his reflection, so he sees if he got it. It kind of reminds me of getting ready for inspection when I was in the SEAL teams, right? You start your hat, you start your uniform, you spit shine on your boots, making sure you're clean shaven. You got a fresh haircut. Polish your belt buckle, all this kind of stuff. You're for operations. Well, they used to make us lay out a poncho with all of our gear on it, our inventory, all of our gear, and they would come up and check us, making sure we got everything. If we didn't have it, we had to go to supply and replace what we had missing. And we had to explain to them, why we were missing it, how it got lost, and if it wasn't a good enough excuse, you had to pay for it. But that's what they did every time, and so everybody had to have, their operational gear and everything in order and putting it together so you can get at it when you're in the field, right? Same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. This could be, you had a shooting partner or a battle buddy or swim buddy, right? That helped you, You guys kept track of each other. Okay. I was always the duty driver because I don't drink, right? Making sure everybody got home safe and before curfew, all that kind of stuff. So, these are just things that can apply to business. You got somebody, maybe it's your business partner, maybe it's your secretary, maybe it's your foreman, maybe, you have somebody accountable. You can be accountable to, right, to make sure you're on track. And then if you mess it up, guess what? You go right back to, you know, the budget. Keep on the budget. All right. Then there's the holy place. This furniture here, you got the table of showbread, altar of incense, and the menorah, right? So your table of showbread, that's 66 or 6 rows of 6 loaves of bread, which represents the 66 books of the Bible, right? But this is studying, continuing education on your trade or your business or your industry. And you just educate yourself, keep yourself. I've seen things happen where I have seen things happen in business because the boss wasn't keeping up with the changes in the mortgage business. When the conforming loan limit changed from $255,000 to $272,000, I almost lost a deal because the broker hadn't kept up with the change. And he was trying to quote the guy a jumbo rate. He was shopping me, and I had to come in and because I kept up with it and get him to understand that this is a new change, right? You can take advantage of it. We can get you the lower interest rate, and I saved my deal, right? But I almost lost it because the broker wasn't paying attention. So you got to pay attention. This is kind of what this represents. There's all kinds of changes in my industry, especially, but whatever you're doing, you got to keep up with the information and the changes. Oh, AI is a huge one. All right. I'm just scratching the surface, learning how to use that. The altar of incense. So, people, go to praise and worship and used to win and, a lot of, they put out, what you want to be praying about, or what you want to be, what's a concern for the church, right? And everybody's, dancing around and praying and I'm like, how effective is this really, right? And then I'm thinking there's something in the temple flow that I'm thinking this is where like mission planning was in the SEAL teams, where you got together with more experienced guys and they shared their knowledge and experience and their SOPs on the way to do things, standard operating procedures that they had in their back pocket that made it easy to plan for the missions, right? Well, then Pastor Greg or Prophet Greg uh, gets up and has a PowerPoint on the temple process, basically teaching us. Okay. And now with Alice, the way she does it is pretty much sharing her experiences, just like the more experienced members of the platoon, which is she's sharing her SOPs with everybody. It's the same thing in business. You can get in with your company or a group of people in your industry, whatever, a blog or whatever. Stay LinkedIn is a good one, right? Keeping up on hacks that can help you grow your business in marketing and sales and different ways of doing things. Using AI, that could be one, right? But this is what this represents. All right, and then there's the menorah. Now this is supposed to represent the churches. The oil is teaching from the high priest. Well, it's basically direct mentorship from a subject matter expert or your CEO of your business, right? The guy that knows how to do it all and shares that knowledge with you, training you basically you to be a CEO, kind of like the chief in the platoon, right? That's what this is, right? So it's a simple, just a very simple process. Then guess what? You go through the second veil into the Holy of Holies. This is where you're the CEO. So things flip around. Now you are that guy. You're the guy that's done it all. And you guys have put that business together. And now you've got delegation. You're delegating to people to help you build your business and maintain your business. But you're teaching them, It's your business. Okay, you know it all, right? And you're guiding them. They're going to do it. You're the boss, right? That's what this represents for when it comes to business. All right. So I hope this clears it up. I hope you can hear it better than you heard it this morning. We'll see. I'll listen to it. And if it sounds good, I'll be putting it out. All right. Have a good one. Okay.